Welcome back. Every episode of Health Reddy with Dr. Reddy, we have a special guest on the show who will share their unique story. We will tap on their sporting and wellness experience to inspire us. Our guest today had a Facebook post that had went viral. Jerry Toh posted on social media his challenges as a new food delivery rider, having to pivot from being a swimming instructor during the circuit breaker. His post struck a chord with many people as it was a time when many of us were staying home and had to depend on the delivery heroes to bring us our meals. Here in the studio, we have Jerry Toh, swimming coach of the Water Family Enrichment Center. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Thank you for having me on the show, Water.
Now, first question I'd like to ask is, how does it feel to go back to the pool coaching?
Oh, I'm very grateful and happy to be back in the pool again. It's been almost 3 months since we had to stop swimming. So now that we are back in the pool, the kids are happy, the parents are happy, and I'm happy.
Wow, sounds like a story to me. Now, I have to ask you about the viral post. What has changed for you and perhaps the delivery scene?
So it was totally unexpected to have my post went viral. Last check, there was about 16,000 likes and about 12,000 shares. So the message that I wanted to bring across was to have a more understanding society.
Right, okay.
Yeah, between the restaurants, the riders and the customers.
Right.
Yep.
It's always a misconception that, the riders bringing the food there, they are the ones who's late. But sometimes it could be the restaurant, right?
Yeah, it might have been that way too.
So to all our friends out there, from all of us at the studio, we'd like to say thank you very much to all the delivery heroes for doing what you do. All right, keep at it. Not just the delivery heroes, we're also talking about all the people who have sending you the couriers, the parcels, the PHV drivers. Thank you so much for keeping us sane during circuit breaker. Now, your post went viral. So I heard that, it went just beyond Singapore.
Yeah. So when the post went viral, I received a lot of words of encouragement from Singaporeans. And then there were also messages coming in from people from Malaysia and Indonesia.
Wow, that's really, really awesome. Now, what are some of the things that you've seen out there that has happened since your post went viral? Something that has improved?
I think the understanding between everybody, it gets better. So like what you have mentioned just earlier, it doesn't really, most of the time, it might not just be on the riders itself. So it becomes more understanding between the customers, the riders, and the restaurants.
Right. Okay. And the public, I understand that sometimes I've heard stories of people leaving drinks and message of encouragement at the doors. Yes. Have you seen anything like this?
Yes, personally, I've experienced it once. I was waiting to collect an order at a shopping mall. So there was this couple who came up to me and gave me a can of isotonic drink. So I was quite shocked. Yeah, I was quite shocked. So I asked them, why are you giving me a free drink?
Right.
So they went and said, actually we wanted to do something for the riders. And this is a way of saying thank you to you.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, so it really warms the heart, when people do this kind of kind act.
And it's not an easy job at all to be a delivery rider or driver or anything like that.
Yes.
Right.
So, Jerry, what was your schedule like and how much distance did you cover during the time?
So on a daily basis, I will start my delivery around 6 a.m. and then I will cycle around for 10 to 12 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
6 a.m. and then 12 hours a day.
Yes.
I'm not an early riser, by the way.
Right.
So, and how long do you travel? Like, what is the distance you cover?
The average distance is about 50 to 80 kilometers.
50 to 80
50 to 80.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
2 ways
Yes.
across the island. Wow, that's a lot. It must be a really, really exhausting job.
Yes, it is.
So what were the physical challenges that you experienced?
Some of the physical challenges I personally experienced, things like irregular meal times. Yep, I don't get to eat as and when I like to. Only during short breaks when there's no orders coming in, then I get the chance to have some meals, some quick meals. Yep.
Oh, it's one of those like bike and go kind of thing?
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. And also fatigue. Fatigue plays a very big challenge on a daily basis, especially when cycling on a rainy day.
Wow, that I can imagine that 50, 80 kilometers a day. I would I can't do 10, 15 kilometers and stay sane for the rest of the day. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to you.
Thank you.
Wow, really, really awesome. Now, what I also like to add on is on a rainy day, and if I can remember, for the past few months, it's been really raining in the afternoon and everything else.
Yep.
So it must be dangerous out there.
Yep. Yeah. So mentally wise, it's challenging because not only I have to stay alert on the roads, but back in my mind, those food at the back, in the delivery bag, I also have to be aware of it and make sure that the food does not spill out.
Wow. Okay. Well, sounds professional to me. Okay. Right. And well, it's probably very exhausting. And well, if I had a schedule like this, by the end of the day, I would probably just want to crash in bed and sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that. But let's have a bit of fun.
Okay.
Okay. Grab those whiteboards and markers, and I'm going to ask you both a few questions, and some questions on sleep behavior, since Jerry brought up about exhaustion and fatigue. I thought that's a good thing to talk about.
Sleep. Wow. Okay.
So how many hours of sleep do you get in a day?
Okay.
You guys can pen it down.
Okay.
Okay. And this would be my answer. My answer will be 5 to 8 hours, depending on what time my kids wake me up.
Yeah, my answer is 5 hours.
Okay. How many hours of sleep a day do you think is optimum?
Optimum. Wow.
Like what's optimum might vary for both of you, but what's your view on that?
Okay. For me, optimum. This would be my optimum. 12 hours sleep.
Half a day.
What about you?
Mine will be 8 to 10 hours.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So,
Is it a lot, 12 hours? Or is it optimum?
well, if you're a 5-year-old child, well, 12 hours is optimum. Maybe you are like.
Thank you. All right.
So, what are the benefits of good sleep? Do you guys know any? What do you think about good sleep?
Well, if I sleep well, I feel better. I feel more alert and everything.
What about you, Jerry? What do you think about a good sleep?
Good sleep is a sleep where I don't get disturbed by anything. I don't get awake. I don't wake up in the middle of the night. And if I get a good sleep, I think I'll feel happier.
Okay, yeah. What you guys brought out is both accurate. It improves your mood, it improves your emotion, and you feel well and refreshed the next day. The other things is sleep also helps with managing stress, because that's the time your body recharges and you feel rested, and your body also repairs what it has gone through, the wear and tear of the day. So sleep is very crucial.
Well,
and yeah.
Cool. And one of the things, is it a myth that I'd like to ask you, doctor, that you can actually lose weight when you sleep?
Well, it is partly true. I would say if you're well rested,
Right.
your stress eating is going to be a lot lesser.
Ah.
And your body's metabolism is also at an optimum range. Mm-hmm. So your body burns fats better, your body burns carbs better.
Right.
And you tend to lose more, burn more.
Yeah. I do realize one thing, okay? Whenever I feel stress from the lack of sleep, I tend to want to crave for sweet things and stuff like that. And that, of course, make me gain weight.
Yeah, 100%. So the lack of sleep does put a big dent into the balance that your body has, and it accumulates to cause hormonal problems, and that in turn leads to weight gain.
I see.
So that's one of the biggest challenges for modern day and modern workforce like Singapore.
Right.
Yeah.
So 12 hours of sleep, that it is. All right. Now, here's a big review in this show. Now, unknown to many, apart from being a swimming instructor, Jerry is also a triathlete. In fact, an Ironman finisher. So, Jerry, we'd like to share about the distance of the swim, the bike, and the run.
Okay, so for the full Ironman, we need to swim 3.8 kilometer, followed by a 180 kilometer bike, and then you run the full marathon within 17 hours.
And that's the reason why he's riding like 50 to 80 kilometers a
50
day.
to 80 kilometers. Yes, now I know why.
Right. And I also understand from Jerry in our earlier conversation that one of the reasons why he chose to ride the bicycle is to train for future triathlon.
Yes.
All right, he actually has a car. He could easily use his car for delivery, but
Yes.
he chose to ride on a bike
Yes.
in the rain, 50 kilometers a day.
That's amazing. I mean, you're using the opportunity and changing the adversity to an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
you're seeing that as a way to train and
Yes.
clock those hours, keep your body conditioned. That's really good. That's really good.
Thank you.
And so he's very well qualified to share his cycling tips to the many delivery riders on bicycles.
Yep.
Okay, so Jerry, the Ironman, what are your tips on riding?
So what I see on the roads, many of us, we tend to cycle and deliver without helmets on. So I think a good and a really fitting helmet is important.
Oh, okay. What is a good helmet if you can just go a bit more on the specifics?
A good helmet maybe is something that really fits you. You don't get the wrong size.
Sizing.
Yep.
So you don't like buy it off from the internet
Yes.
and stuff like that or hand me down, but it's a very
Yep.
personal thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think any road safety, I mean, helmets play a big role in road
Right.
safety. Even if one falls down, it protects your vital part, your brain from getting injured.
Right.
And I've seen, like in the ED, when I'm in the emergency department,
Mm-hmm.
road traffic accidents can be really nasty.
So a helmet can actually make a lot of difference?
Yes, it can. Definitely can.
Wow, okay. What else, Jerry, apart from having a helmet, what else comes in really handy and safe for all the riders out there?
Living in Singapore, we all tend to wear slippers. So yeah, a lot of us, we just wear slipper and just cycle on the road. So I think
Right.
a proper footwear and gloves is really important.
Footwear and gloves, I see, okay. And I think perhaps it's like when you happen to have a bit of an accident or suddenly you need to do a bit of hard braking, with, and imagine wearing slippers and wearing proper footwear, I think it
Makes a
makes
big
a lot of
difference.
difference.
But that's the first time I heard someone say gloves is so crucial for cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is it the grip or is it to avoid like injuries when you meet with some unforeseen?
I think it's for both because we ride long hours on the road. So imagine gripping on the handlebar for 10 hours. You might get abrasion on your hand. And also, if let's say an accident would happen, you might just get a bruise, or get cut on your hand.
Right.
So I think it adds a layer of protection on your hand.
Okay,
wow.
what about the bike itself?
The bike itself, I think a lot of us tend to miss out on the small things.
Okay.
Maybe like a good tire.
Tires,
Yep.
okay.
Tire, brakes.
Brakes, oh yeah, you can ride fast, but do you have the brakes?
Yep.
Yeah.
And lights, especially important when we cycle
Yes,
at night.
night delivery.
Yep.
Okay, it's really, really important. Now, 50 to 80 kilometers, how do you keep yourself hydrated?
Okay. So for myself, I get a water bag. So the water bag is about 1.5 liter. So I will just carry on my bag and then I'll just cycle around. As and when I'm thirsty, I will just drink it. And once I run out of it, I have to look for the nearby water cooler to refill it. So I became very cautious on my water rationing.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
that's another thing that I wanted to ask you earlier. How much water do you think you drink for that 50 to 80 kilometers?
I will just refill once a day, so maybe about 3 liter.
3 liter?
Yep.
Yeah, because what I've realized while I covered sports events here in Singapore is because it's humid out here,
Right.
We perspire a lot more. So one of the most common injuries for endurance sport is heat exhaustion. And water is one big difference to whether one would experience heat strokes and heat exhaustion. So I guess it plays a very key role that you hydrate very regularly.
Yeah, I mean, just to add, is like probably with the heat stroke and perhaps a bit of a confusion from the lack of water, it also hampers the safety aspects of it as well.
Yeah,
right?
it does. And it also impairs, you might know, right, when you compete at a triathlon professional level, the lack when you're dehydrated, it does impair your performance, how much further you can go, how fast you can go, and stuff like that. So I guess I can't stress more about what the importance of keeping hydrated.
So Jerry, what else can the delivery riders improve on themselves or the safety and of course their performance?
Maybe you can keep yourself hydrated.
Yep,
I
that's
say.
one.
Yep. The delivery bag that we used to have it on our bag.
It looks so heavy.
Oh yes,
It's
it
quite
is.
bulky.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So when I first started, I was just like everyone else. We just cycle with a bag on it. But after 2 weeks into the delivery, I get to have shoulder aches, sore pains. Yeah. And every night when I go back home, I was like, oh.
And your wife will give you a good massage.
Yes.
I can imagine wearing that heavy bag
Yep.
and then riding,
Yep.
or even actually on the cycle. I don't know how much it impairs the balance on the cycle because it's bulky. It's going to
Yes.
kind of. So, how do you handle that?
So after 2 weeks, I start to see some of my fellow cyclists. They got a rack on their bicycle. So that was the point. I said, oh yeah, I should have thought of that too.
Yeah, that's a quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very good way to take the stress off your
Yes.
Right.
And it feels really great to have that load off me.
Off you, yeah.
Yes.
And it's safer as well.
It's safer as well. Yep.
Okay, 50 to 80 kilometers a day.
Yep.
Surely some other parts of the body, apart from your shoulder, would ache and stuff like that, or then things like that.
Yep. I remember 1 week into cycling, I get saddle sore. Yeah. And then I get abrasion on my thighs. So that was really, really painful.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me, 50 to 80 kilometers, I'm sure there's going to be abrasions and saddle sores.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a very leisure, slow cycle, recreational cyclist. And even doing 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers,
Right.
I get like sore thighs and sore back and stuff like that. So I can imagine even for a trained athlete like you, if you're carrying a load and then cycling, you will experience some of that skin abrasions and stuff.
So as a Ironman finisher and everything else, what are some of your tips on this?
Tell us.
Get just like the helmet, get a good fitting saddle that suits you.
Right.
Yep. And I think the height of the bicycle also plays a part.
Okay.
Yep. If the size doesn't meet your height, I think it gets lead to the injuries.
All right. What about protective equipment?
Protective equipment.
Like creams and powders and stuff.
Oh yeah, maybe we can apply some anti-abrasion cream.
Right.
Yeah, before the start of the delivery.
Yeah.
And perhaps tights as well
Yeah,
to prevent
tights.
the abrasion.
Yeah, cycling tights.
Okay.
Okay. Now, next question I'd like to ask you, Jerry, is can you tell us more about the Water Family Enrichment Center? Do you have any exciting plans coming up?
Okay, so the Water Family Enrichment Center is basically a swimming school and a tuition center.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
2 in 1.
I'm in charge of the swimming aspect,
Right,
and my
right.
wife, who was a former teacher, she's in charge of the tuition side.
Oh, that's a cool way to
That's a
integrate
nice-
like
that's a
fun
cool concept.
with
Yes.
tuition and enrichment.
So we
nice.
take care of everything for the kids.
Right, so you have the swimming portion taken
Yeah.
care of you and the tuition by your wife.
Yes.
But why is it so? Why do you want to combine the two aspects together?
Oh, okay. So because my idea is that the kids can learn swimming at the same time, and yet at the same time they can focus on their studies. So the parents, they can have peace of mind, ensuring that the kids, although they are having fun in swimming, but their academics are not affected.
Okay, because I've heard of stories of people actually pulling out
Yes.
and stuff like that for
Yes.
is it the PSLE or something?
For over the years, I realized that parents tend to pull their kids out when they reach P5 and P6 because
Okay.
of PSLE. They want to prepare the kids for the PSLE. So it clinched in me, that it's such a waste to see potential swimmers giving up because of
Right.
academics. So that's where my wife will come in and take care of the studies for them.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So any plans, exciting plans coming up?
As we are still in the early stages of phase 2, so we are still taking a cautious approach in resuming all our lessons.
Right.
But hopefully, when all this is over, we would like to have a swimming carnival where we can bring everyone back together. I think everyone is missing, this kind of gatherings together.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
And I love the idea that he's integrating both tuition and swimming.
Yep.
Like you have a sound mind and a sound body going together.
It's holistic.
And there's, I love that idea.
Thank you.
right. Now, I'd like to find out, okay, the COVID-19 pandemic with so many things happening around us, how has it shaped you?
COVID-19 hit me really hard. Without coaching, I would have to use all my savings. So my wife and I actually sat down and then we talked about this. And I feel that it makes no sense to see my savings deplete.
Yep.
So that's where I decided to take up a Grab food delivery. Like doctor say, I make use of this chance to train for my triathlon also, to exercise and keep fit. And yeah, I think life is full of challenges. We just got to adapt and try to emerge stronger out of it. Yeah, I always like to tell my friends, like, after I cycle for so long, I like to tell them that, a lot of people say life is like riding a bicycle. To keep moving forward, you need to keep on pedal, right?
Yes, gotta keep at it.
But don't forget, you also need to know when to apply the brakes and change your path to reach your destination.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's profound.
Yeah, I'm sure this pandemic has changed a lot of perception. Even personally, it has changed mine and everything else.
Yeah.
Now, Jerry, it has indeed been an honor to have you at our show. Thank you for speaking up for all the delivery heroes. We wish you the very best in your coaching business and your triathlon competitions. Now, Dr. Reddy and I will come back shortly to share more usable tips on wellness and health. So stay tuned for that. So on that, thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us at the show.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.